Good morning, and welcome to your AI Daily Press morning podcast for April 2nd, 2025. First, in Europe, French President Emmanuel Macron is facing criticism over his government's handling of diversity policies, while the European Union prepares to respond to U.S. tariffs. Meanwhile, National Rally voters are weighing their options after the party's leader, Marine Le Pen, was forced to choose between her role as a member of parliament and leading the party. Second, Russian President Vladimir Putin has sparked controversy by meeting with Milorad Dodik, the wanted leader of Bosnia's ethnic Serbs, despite an international arrest warrant. This move comes as tensions escalate between Russia and the West over Ukraine. The UK has announced new sanctions against a Russian army commander, and Putin has increased Russia's spring conscription target to 160,000. Lastly, in Southeast Asia, the aftermath of the devastating March earthquake is highlighting the complexities of responding to humanitarian crises in regions with ongoing conflicts and political instability. Cardinal Charles Bo, president of the Myanmar Bishops' Conference, is calling for peace alongside humanitarian aid, while former USAID officials warn that China's growing influence in the region poses a challenge to U.S. diplomatic efforts. We'll be following these stories throughout the day and providing updates as more information becomes available. That's all for now. Thank you for joining us on the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. I'm Walter, and we'll see you again soon. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Firstly, the United Nations has refuted Israel's claim that there is enough food in the Gaza Strip to last for an extended period. The humanitarian crisis in the region continues to worsen, with aid deliveries severely restricted and bakeries forced to close due to a lack of supplies. The UN warns of a strong likelihood of famine in areas of northern Gaza. In another part of the world, tensions remain high as the United States strengthens its military presence in Japan. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has announced plans to restructure U.S. forces into a warfighting headquarters aimed at bolstering deterrence in the Indo-Pacific region. This move is seen as a significant step in enhancing military coordination and deterrence capabilities. Lastly, we're following a developing story on the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, where over 10,000 Palestinians have been killed since the conflict began in October. The international community is calling for an immediate resolution to the crisis, with the UN urging all parties involved to allow for the free flow of aid into Gaza and prioritize the needs of civilians caught in the crossfire. These stories highlight the complex geopolitical landscape we're navigating today, where alliances, strategic partnerships, and humanitarian crises are constantly evolving. We'll continue to bring you updates and in-depth analysis on these developments as more information becomes available. That's all for now. Thank you for joining us this morning on the AI Daily Press. I'm Barbara, wishing you a thoughtful and informed day ahead. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Today, I'd like to summarize our recent articles, which covered two significant stories in the world of finance. Firstly, we analyzed J.P. Morgan Chase's fixed-rate preferred shares, specifically the Series JJ preferred shares. Our analysis, based on a report from Seeking Alpha, highlighted the bull case for these shares, citing the company's robust financial health and potential for attractive income and appreciation opportunities. However, we also acknowledged the risks involved, such as yield spread explosions during market crashes and uncertain Fed policy normalization. Secondly, we discussed SmartStop Self-Storage REIT's underwritten public offering, which aims to raise approximately $300 million through the sale of common stock. This strategic move is expected to enhance the company's financial flexibility, allowing it to capitalize on growth opportunities and expand its market share in the self-storage industry. While there are potential risks and challenges associated with this offering, we believe that SmartStop is well positioned to benefit from trends such as urbanization and demographic changes. In conclusion, these two stories offer valuable insights into the world of finance, highlighting both opportunities and risks for investors. As your trusted news source, we strive to provide balanced and unbiased reporting, helping you make informed investment decisions. Remember, investing is a marathon, not a sprint. Stay informed, be patient, and always keep a long-term perspective. That's all for now, folks. Thank you for joining me on the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. We'll see you in the next edition, where we'll continue to provide you with the latest news and analysis from the world of finance. Have a wonderful day! Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Lewis. I'm your host, Carl. Today, we're going to summarize some fascinating stories from the world of astronomy and space exploration. Firstly, we have the latest update on NASA's SphereX mission, which has just released its first images. These breathtaking images are a testament to the incredible engineering and scientific efforts that have gone into this project. SphereX is designed to map the entire celestial sky in unprecedented detail, studying the formation and evolution of galaxies, stars, and planets. Next, we're looking at the recent observations made by the Webb Space Telescope about an asteroid known as 2023. While Earth is in the clear from a potential collision, there's a fascinating twist. The asteroid has a non-zero probability of impacting the Moon. This discovery highlights the importance of continued space research and exploration, allowing us to gain a deeper understanding of the risks and opportunities that come with exploring our universe. Lastly, we're taking a look at some exciting events happening in our celestial neighborhood. From the Lyrid meteor shower to the latest discoveries about the Moon's surface, there's always something new to explore and learn about in the world of astronomy. That's all for today's summary. Tune in to our full episodes for more in-depth coverage of these stories and many more. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the fascinating world of astronomy and space discovery. Until next time, keep looking up at those stars and wondering about the wonders that await us in the universe. Now, for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Today, we're discussing the latest developments in the National Football League, as the league introduces new rules for kickoffs and overtime. In a move aimed at enhancing player safety and increasing excitement on the field, the NFL has decided to place touchbacks at the receiving team's 15-yard line, rather than the traditional 25-yard line. This change is intended to encourage more teams to attempt to return kickoffs, rather than simply taking a touchback. But that's not all, folks. The league has also introduced a new overtime format, where both teams will be guaranteed an offensive possession in overtime, unless the receiving team scores a touchdown on its first possession. This change is designed to reduce the number of ties and create more exciting finishes. And in a nod to fairness and accuracy, officials can now use instant replay to reverse incorrectly called penalties. This change is intended to improve the game by giving officials the ability to review and correct mistakes in real time. Now, let's take a step back and analyze these changes. The NFL has been working to reduce the number of injuries on kickoffs, and these new rule changes are designed to achieve this goal, while also creating more exciting and competitive games. It's a delicate balance, but one that the league must strike in order to ensure the long-term health and success of the sport. And let's not forget, folks, that player safety is not just a moral imperative, but a business necessity. The NFL has a responsibility to protect its players, not just for their own well-being, but for the integrity of the game itself. After all, as we've seen time and time again, the drama of athletic competition is what drives fan engagement and revenue. So there you have it, folks. The NFL's new rules are a positive development for the league and its fans. As we approach the 2025 season, one thing is clear: the game will be faster, more exciting, and more competitive than ever before. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat, and the drama of athletic competition. This is Howard Closewell speaking, telling it like it is from the world of sports. Now, for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Currell.
Thank you, Howard. Here's a brief summary of our top stories today. First, we're highlighting the vibrant community of Chicago, where the city is gearing up to host its annual summer festival. We'll be taking a closer look at the local artisans, musicians, and chefs who make this event so special. Next, we're reporting on the devastating effects of a recent earthquake in Myanmar, where communities are banding together to support one another in the face of tragedy. We'll be sharing the story of Soe Nei O, a former imam who has lost loved ones in the disaster and is now working tirelessly to help his community rebuild. Finally, we're exploring the intersection of science and global health, with news of a groundbreaking discovery that could potentially prevent the spread of malaria. We'll be delving into the implications of this breakthrough and what it means for our planet's future. That's all for now. Thank you for joining us on this morning's edition of the AI Daily Press. We're committed to bringing you fair, balanced, and informative reporting, and we look forward to being your trusted source for news and analysis in the days ahead. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. I'm Joan, and I've got the scoop on all the latest news. First up, get ready for the most epic cinematic event of the decade. The Beatles are back, baby. Sony Pictures Entertainment has announced a series of biopics about the iconic band, with full rights to their music and life stories. It's going to be a wild ride, folks. Next, we're talking Eddie Murphy, the comedy legend who's been making us laugh for decades. Did you know that Sidney Poitier advised him not to star in Malcolm X? Yeah, I know, it's crazy. But Eddie's got a new documentary coming out, and we can't wait to see what he has to say. And finally, are you thinking of tying the knot anytime soon? Well, you might want to consider a destination wedding, darling. Hilton Hotels are offering some amazing options for romantic getaways, from intimate elopements to big blowout bashes. And with their all-inclusive resorts, you can save money on catering, decorations, and entertainment. Plus, who doesn't love an excuse to relax on a beautiful beach or by a luxurious pool? That's all for now, folks. Stay fabulous, and don't forget to pack your sunscreen. We'll see you at the movies and maybe even at a destination wedding or two. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David at Nature.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, an incredible story from Florida, where a remarkable discovery has been made about the adaptability of sea turtles. Unfortunately, our system does not contain information on this topic. Secondly, in Colombia, coffee farmers are navigating the challenges posed by climate change. Our report highlights how a balanced approach combining scientific innovation and traditional practices is necessary for the industry to thrive. Farmers like Sebastian Velasquez and Jaime from Senecafe's Extension Unit share their insights on adopting sustainable practices, such as prioritizing plant nutrition and biodiversity. Lastly, in the United States, a federal funding freeze has put agroforestry projects in limbo, leaving farmers and communities uncertain about their future. The Appalachian Sustainable Development Program, which supports farmers in adopting agroforestry techniques, has been affected by the sudden halt on grant reimbursements. Ninth generation farmer Sarah Brown shares her concerns about the financial and labor risks she's facing due to the funding freeze. These stories underscore the urgent need for sustainable practices in agriculture and the importance of supporting farmers who are working towards a more environmentally friendly future. We'll continue to monitor these developments and provide updates as more information becomes available. Thank you for tuning into the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Etinacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.